So the fire is our heating element. So we've got a nice big wide footplate. So it's as wide as the carpet, 6 foot deep. So we've got a real big surface area to cover with the fire. And that heats the boiler. So we've got all the tubes that go down the log pot, take the smoke up the chimney. And we'll boil the water, so you've got your water space just here in these side glasses. So that's telling you where the water level is within the boiler. Excuse me. In here, this is your firebox. So roughly at this height here is your firebox top. So all this is expansion area for the smoke and the volatile gases as it comes around, and as it combines with the air coming through this firewall door, you get a secondary burn. So you get a primary burn on your fire grate, and you get a secondary burn above it where the brick arch is. So you go from 1200 degrees to 3200 degrees roughly, secondary burn. So, the aim is not to have smoke because we're burning it all off. So that's why you have such big fireboxes in, because you can create so much heat from multiple stages. And then once we start creating steam from boiling the water, we pressurise it, and you have a pressure gauge on the top right. Yeah. And then once we've got enough pressure, we'll then put the steam into the cylinders, so we can select direction with this reversing lever, so we can move it left or right, depending on what's required, to put it into direction on this indicator. And then when we're ready, we'll open the regulator, which is this big lever, which also links across to this side. It puts the steam into the engine and moves us. And next to these valves, they're just new valves. Just a little more complicated than they are. They do, don't they?
What's this down?
So that's part of your modern day safety equipment. So because this loco goes onto the main line, we have AWS and TPWS. So basically this is a safety system what will alert the driver of oncoming hazards, so crossings, foot crossings, workers, so temporary work when people are working on the line, they'll put a magnet between the rails which the loco will register to alert the driver that there's something ahead to be mindful of. Or if there's a hazard ahead, the signaller can then get involved with the movement of the engine and actually create an electromagnetic field in between the lines with a little pad. So you'll never get electrocuted, don't worry about that. There's a little pad what was self-contained, what creates an energy field, and that will activate this little box at the side here and put the brakes on the train, because the signalman is aware of a hazard ahead, what we're not. Okay. So the signalman can prevent the train continuing towards the hazard.
Right, that's clever.
So, all trains are like that. I will. I'll quickly open it and hopefully won't not too much smoke up. So in there, at the minute, we're gently bringing the fire across the grate because we're trying to warm the boiler gently.
Yeah.
So as you can see, you've got two different types of plate work, and what that is, we have a copper in a firebox and a steel outer. So the idea being the copper will transfer the heat quicker as we're trying to be efficient with the coal and heat the water and boil the water quicker.
Would it be softer material?
Yeah, so it's just the conductive values of the materials. But when the engine is cold, we have to bring them round gently. So we lit this last night for Saturday.
Wow.
So that's how long you sort of bring them round gently. Like us in the morning, we don't jump out to bed and go for a sprint for 25 miles, do we? So it's the same sort of thing.
So what time will you start it in the morning then? Or will you start it tonight and leave it going?
So we'll keep it burning for as long as possible. We'll let the fire die down overnight, and then in the morning we'll relight it at 4 o'clock.
I see, because you're going at 9, aren't you, in the morning?
Yeah. So we'll relight it roughly 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Get the fire in, the crews will then prep the engine, oil it up, check that they've got the tools, so spare shovels, firing irons, whatever's needed, top the water up, top the coal up. And then once they've done all that and they're ready, and with relighting it and bringing the pressure back round, once all that's done, then they'll come to the station, go on the train and off they go. So it is all very carefully planned and thought out. It's just takes a long time. It takes a long time, and sadly that was the demise of the steam engine.
Yeah,
the labour
intensive.
Yeah.
Very.
Sadly, as much as I'd rather have this all day long compared to a diesel. It's,
Yeah.
Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
At least you can have your breakfast while you're staying.
Yeah, this is it, yeah.
How you do your eggs on there?
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
So for tomorrow, how much coal would you use?
So we're estimating this engine will use around 4 or 5 tonne, pulling the 8 carriages up and down the line.
Right.
So that's partly because of the gradient, because they're quite steep hills, as well as starting and stopping for the stations. It's surprising how much that can energise and pull the fire apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well as, if you look at, like I say, if you look at the size of the boiler itself, it comes from one side of the cab to the other, so you've got roughly 7 foot by 6 foot square to fill,
Right.
and you'll need roughly an 8-inch, 10-inch bed across the whole thing to get a good, efficient thermal surface for it to boil the water, create the steam, whilst also using it. You're trying to balance the
Yeah.
creation of it as well as use of it while you're driving. It's
Yeah.
Who driving it tomorrow?
Sunday.
Sunday.
I get my turn Sunday,
You've got Sunday.
so I can't wait.
Yeah.
Will it be the first time?
It will on this for me, yeah.
Will it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be sleeping.
We'll try, yeah.
So I think it was like when it was doing like 50 miles, like a modern rail, it's like a ton of coal. 50-mile radius. Something.
It depends on the coal.
On the coal, and the
yeah,
burning up the whole end.
yeah, during the inclines, the ambient temperature.
That's a lot of shoveling, that isn't it?
Yeah, oh
When,
yeah.
when
yeah.
this is all moving
See,
around as well.
when you sort of think about,
Yeah.
there's only so much weight you can get on that shovel at a time. So how many shovelfuls is that to get to a ton? It's,
How do you get it all the way to the other end? Because if you want an even bed, how do you get those coals all the way to the other
Lawn
end?
shit,
swing,
yeah,
swing,
swing
home.
it in,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. It's one of them bizarre things with a steam locomotive that there is such a thing as a shovel technique.
Okay.
So because you think if you put your shovel through the door, you've still got to get coal into these corners at the back behind you, and when it's driving and the engine's working hard, the airflow through that boiler is very strong. So when you put the shovel near the door with coal on it, it sucks it off.
It in. Oh wow.
So you've got to then develop a technique to put the shovel in through the door, turn the shovel so it holds the coal on the shovel, and flick it into a corner or wherever's needed.
Cool.
Yeah.
So when you get the chance to experience and watch someone doing it,
Yeah.
and how they manipulate the coal, you sort of realise, yeah, it just takes some practice. I made a lot of mess before I got anywhere near good. It's very easy just to sort of, oh, it's only a hole, I can get it in there. You ching, coal everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, there's more trouble that meets the eye, isn't there?
Yeah.
So how many will be in here tomorrow then?
There'll be 3 because the Railway Museum want their chosen representatives to have a rep with us at all times, and then there'll be the fireman and the driver.
Yeah, like an overseer of.
Yeah, so just basically an owner's rep, because the Railway Museum have let this out on a contract to a care, a body of like a care, someone who's going to maintain care for it. That part of their conditions is you send someone with it all the time. If you're looking after it, expect this sort of level of service and maintenance. And part of that is you send a representative with it.
Yeah.
And lucky for us, they're all volunteers here anyway, so we all know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope I get through that.
You'll be fine.
Well,